I am Silja, welcome to my channel. This is an intermediate level yoga flow for strengthening your whole body. Let's start. Come to lie on your back, extending your legs out, flexing your ankles. Bring your right knee toward your right armpit, keeping the left leg straight and long. Breathing in and out through your nose, changing legs. Bring your left knee toward your left armpit, keeping the right leg energized. Extending both legs out, hugging both knees in for Bakasana. Reaching your tailbone down. Then making little circles with your lower back to warm it up. Then reaching your right leg up toward the sky and bringing it down, hovering off the floor and up for single leg lifts, continuing at your own pace, energizing your core, firming your lower abdomen in, keeping your whole spine on the ground, or perhaps a little arch on your lower back, changing legs, reaching your left leg up toward the sky and hovering it off the floor and up at your own pace, single leg lifts to warm up and firm the lower abdomen. Breathing in and out through your nose throughout the whole practice. Then extending both of your legs straight up toward the sky over your hips, bringing them slowly down 1/3, then 2/3, and as close as the floor as you can still hold your abdomen flat. Back up, and again, lowering your legs down, a little bit more, and as close to the ground as you can still keep your spine long, your abdomen flat. Lifting your legs up and hugging your knees to your chest, Bakasana, rocking from side to side, and placing your feet for bridge pose. Lifting your hips up, keeping your arms straight, interlacing your fingers as you walk your shoulder blades toward each other. Firmly push down through the whole arms and forearms and your wrist down, as well as all the four corners of your feet. Feeling the strength pushing you toward the sky, coming down. And second time, this time reaching your arms up overhead for dynamic bridge. Coming back down. Inhale, lifting up. And coming back down. Keep spinning your inner thighs down toward the floor. Up. And coming back down. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. Hugging your knees to your chest. Then rocking back and forth a few times. Coming up to seated position, finding your way to tabletop position on your hands and knees. Your knees under your hips, hands under your shoulders for cat and cow. Inhale, reaching your heart forward, dropping your belly down, and exhale, rounding your spine for cat. Inhale, reaching your heart forward, and exhaling, pushing the ground away with your hands firmly. Inhale, reaching your heart forward for cow. Exhaling, rounding your spine energetically for cat. Inhaling, reaching your heart forward. Exhaling, rounding your spine, pulling your belly button up. Then reaching your arms forward, placing your chin on the ground, keeping your hips over your knees. Feeling an opening on your shoulders, pushing the floor with your palms, lifting the forearms and the upper arms off the floor. Feeling an opening, an expansion in your chest and shoulders. Breathing in with your nose and exhaling. Then you may take a block, placing your knees hip-width apart. Reaching your left arm up, lengthening, and with an exhale, finding a side stretch. You may place your hand on the block or fingertips or palm on the floor. Now roll that left shoulder open, keeping your hips squared. Spreading your collarbones, coming back up, changing sides, side stretch, reaching your right arm up, lengthening, and with an exhalation, bending over to your left hand side, finding a side stretch, firming your abdomen in, tucking your front ribs in so there is no back bend. Merely a side stretch, coming back up, sitting back on your heels. Then we do Kapalbhati, shining school breath. There is a forceful exhalation through your nose, and inhale happens naturally. Taking a little break, and second round. And relaxing, coming to child's pose, then coming to your plank pose, finding a strong plank, firming your abdomen in. Then pushing back to Ardha Svanasana, downward facing dog, walking your dog out, finding long spine, coming up to your toes and reaching your heels back. Then coming to plank, and back to downward facing dog. Feel your core engaged and strong. Plank, and pushing back to downward facing dog. Looking forward, walking to the front of your mat, half forward fold, and folding forward, forward fold. Reaching your arms up, Utthita Hastasana, and bringing your hands by your sides, Tadasana. Reaching up and folding down again, Uttanasana, forward fold. Reaching your heart forward, half forward fold, stepping or jumping back to Chaturanga. Reaching up to upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, pushing back to downward facing dog. Finding your long neutral spine, your strong foundation. Rolling your shoulders up away from your ears, firming your abdomen in, tucking your front ribs in, lifting your hips up and back, spinning your inner thighs back, then jumping forward, Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold, and folding down, Uttanasana, forward fold, reaching your arms up toward the sky, Utthita Hastasana, and bringing your hands down, Tadasana. Reaching your arms up, lengthening, and folding down, Uttanasana. Reaching your heart forward, Ardha Uttanasana, jumping back to Chaturanga. Reaching your heart forward, upward facing dog, and pushing your hips back to downward facing dog. Finding length and a moment of rest. Breathing deeply through your nose. Pushing the ground away with your palms. Looking forward, jump forward, reaching your heart forward, Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold, and folding down, forward fold. Circling your arms up toward the sky, Utthita Hastasana, and bringing your arms back by your sides, Tadasana. Extending your arms up, reaching your hips back, down, bending your knees for Utkatasana, chair pose, and folding down, Uttanasana. Reaching your heart forward, jumping back to Chaturanga. Reaching your heart up, opening up to upward facing dog, and pushing yourself back to downward facing dog. Then stepping your left foot forward for Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1, bending that left knee, firming your abdomen in. Then extending your legs, taking wider stance for Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2, bending that left leg. Then straightening the left leg, and bending back down again, firming your abdomen in, straightening the leg, and then coming down to Trikonasana, triangle pose, reaching your right arm up toward the sky, opening your chest. Then finding your way to Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose, reaching that right arm open, opening your chest, squaring your hips, feeling strong and steady, coming back down to triangle pose, Trikonasana. Opening your chest, firming your abdomen, tucking your front ribs, and then coming to Warrior 2, Purvottanasana 2. Circling your arms down, stepping back to plank, to Chaturanga, to upward facing dog, and flowing back to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Second side, stepping your right foot in between your hands for Warrior 1, Purvottanasana 1, bending the right knee, then widening your stance for Warrior 2, Purvottanasana 2, firming your abdomen in, straightening the leg, and bending the right knee. Straightening your right leg and surfing your upper body, bending down to Trikonasana, triangle pose. Feeling stable and open. Then shifting your body weight forward, finding your way to Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Stacking that left hip over the right hip, the standing leg, opening your chest, feeling stable and strong. Coming back to Trikonasana, triangle pose. Then bending that right knee, coming back to Warrior 2, Purvottanasana 2. Circling your arms down, shoulder width apart, stepping back to plank, to Chaturanga. With an inhale, upward facing dog. With an exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Then bringing body weight to left leg, reaching that right leg up, curling your spine, knee to forehead, reaching right leg up, knee to your forehead, right leg up, and bringing knee to your forehead, curling your spine using your abs, leg up, stepping through for Anjaneyasana, high lunge, staying up on your left toes, firming your abdomen in, tucking your front ribs in, bringing your hands in front of your heart center, and twisting to the right, placing your left upper arm on your right thigh. Keep pushing your left quad up to keep that leg straight, left hip up, then placing your hands down, stepping to plank, Chaturanga, inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Second side, reaching your left leg up, knee to forehead, curling your spine, leg up, curling your spine with your abdomen, knee to forehead, leg up, knee to forehead, leg up, and stepping your left leg through for high lunge, Anjaneyasana, staying on your right toes, reaching your arms up, reaching your tailbone down, firming your abdomen and front ribs in, finding length and stability. Then your palms in front of your heart, twisting to the left, placing the right upper arm on the left thigh. Keeping that right hip up, hip squared, right leg is long and strong. Then circling your arms down, stepping back to plank. With an exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, curling your toes under, downward facing dog. Then coming to rest for a while in child's pose, Malasana. Letting your breath calm you down, rolling up, coming to seated position, preparing for Navasana, boat pose, lifting your legs, then straighten your legs, reaching your arms forward, Navasana, Ardha Navasana, coming down and coming back up, with a long spine, long legs, coming closer to the ground, lifting up, Coming down and lifting up. Coming down but not touching the ground and lifting up to Navasana. Firming your abdomen, keeping a long neutral spine, long legs. Then hugging your knees to your chest. Well done. Then coming to Malasana. Gently turn your toes out. Bringing your forearms inside your knees, finding long spine. Hands in front of your heart center, reaching your tailbone down, finding length in your spine. Then placing your palms on the ground for Kakasana, crow pose, or Bakasana, crane pose. Choose what you practice. Firming your forearms, firming your elbows in, curling your spine, firming your abdomen to curl your spine strongly, lifting your feet off the floor, finding balance and strength. Whether you choose to keep your elbows bent or work towards straight arms for crane pose. Coming back down, bring your hands on your heart center. Yogi's choice, either rest in Malasana or take a second time. Kakasana or Bakasana, your choice. For arm balance, remember to firm the elbows in, scoop your belly up energetically. That's where your power comes from. Then coming back down, resting in Malasana. And then releasing your wrist by turning the tops of your hands on the ground, your fingers pointing toward you, shaking them a bit. Just finding counteraction for that arm balance. And reaching out to child's pose, Malasana. Then coming to sit in Dandasana, staff pose, flexing your feet. Then walk your hands a few inches back, fingers pointing forward. Finding strong core and lifting your hips up, letting your head relax and hang back. Reverse plank, Purvottanasana. And coming back down. Finding Dandasana and then folding forward, holding your feet or your big toes, finding length in your spine, Purvottanasana. And then coming deeper down and letting your spine round, relaxing, surrendering to gravity. Coming back up and threading the needle to do supine pigeon, letting your right knee open to the side, gently pulling your left thigh toward your chest, finding opening in that right hip, changing sides for supine pigeon, threading your arms through, reaching your tailbone down to the ground, even as you're pulling that right thigh toward your chest. Then finding happy baby, just finding a gentle opening in the hips. You may rock from side to side gently to release your lower back. Then we take one last spinal twist, extending your left leg, placing your right sole of the foot on the left knee, letting your right knee fall to the left, reaching your right arm to the right hand side for spinal twist. And then changing sides, extending the right leg, bringing the left knee toward the right, opening the left shoulder to the left, keeping the left shoulder in the ground, working to bring that left knee toward the right hand side on the ground. Breathing into that spinal twist. Then coming to center, extending your arms and legs for Shavasana, our final resting pose. Here, let yourself relax fully. You have done a wonderful job with this very energetic power flow. Now let all the tension go. Relax to gravity. Surrender. Feel the effects of the work in your body and mind. Knowing that the final pose is just as important as all the previous ones. Then reaching your arms and legs out, turning to your right side, bending your knees, rolling back up to a seated position. Finding any cross-legged position you're comfortable in. Finding your center. Then taking a deep inhale with your nose and exhaling through your mouth, making an audible sound. Just relax, let it go. Thank you for practicing with me today.